Yeah, recording the computer. Now I'm recording. So we're doing the meeting.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So then I can actually review a little bit of we talked about the requirements. So yes, so the requirements are, I think for everybody, they are nuanced and people are trying to figure them out in terms of, what it looks like. And actually I should pull up the email that Dr. Mueller sent in terms of what the state requirements are. And she sent a really good comprehensive breakdown of a thing. So hold on a minute. Let me stop sharing for a moment and let me pull up her email. And because it'll look different for every counselor in terms of when you need to do it. And that's what I was saying, because a lot of people who are just graduating, like even we had a grad student at Bowie who asked about taking it. I'm like, no, you don't need to take it. Actually, you can't take. I mean, he could take it, but it would void out because the requirement is exactly. Yeah. You got to take it after you graduate. So once you graduate, then you can be eligible. And then it is the year so like, for example, last year was my renewal year, 2018. Mm-hmm. So the clock started. So I thought, I had to rush to get it done. And they were like, no, it's the start of whenever you start your next renewal cycle. So my renewal, so I have to do it within these next 5 years. So 2018 and whatever 5 years are from there. I don't know. Horrible, man. Yeah. 2023. So in these next 5 years, I have to take the course and I have to document. But if I had taken it in 2017, that wouldn't have counted, from my understanding.
Right.
So it is, and then there are two different laws, and that's what she had pulled up and was really helpful. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Okay. Let me download this. Oh wow. No. Okay, perfect. Okay, you should be able to see now. So there are two different COMARs, which are, she calls it 1 and 2. And so there is this one, of course, they have like the same similar numbers and all of that other wonderful stuff. And the one in blue is for us school counselors. And, it says all of that semester hour of specified coursework, all of these things. And then there is the Lauryn Law 2, which they're calling it Lauryn Laws 2. It isn't 2, but that's what, for lack of a better word, because they're both called Lauryn Law, but they both have similar numbers. I guess this is 7.11. And then this is for all personnel that are working with, except school counselors. And this is only training on or before December 1. And this is required for us for our certification and recertification. And then from my understanding, it is every time you go up. So once I get it done, and then after 2023, I'll have to do it again. That's my understanding of it. And talking
within the 5 years.
Again, yep, within the 5 years. So between 2023 and 2028, if we're using me for an example, then I would have to take the course again. And so on our side, at Bowie's side, it's kind of thinking like, we might want to think about then trying to do, because you don't want people thinking to take the same exact course. So, but we're 5 years into that because, it will be, but it's kind of thinking of something else or another version and I guess you could think about, it's kind of keeping the course fresh. And so that's Bowie's end of it. So this will be something
so is there a way though for it to be like 1, 2, 3, or whatever, because realistically, because everyone's just starting it now.
Yeah.
From now for the next 5 years, it'll be new to everyone.
Exactly. Yep.
Because whoever's not taking it now is going to need to take it within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
At that point, it'll be some people who are doing it for the second time, or it'll be people doing it for the first time because they didn't need to take it this time.
Exactly.
So there's still going to be people who have not had this version.
Yep. So, yeah, no, I think that is definitely a conversation that all of the schools would be nice to sit down and to have that more detailed, to think about what, at least I know at Bowie, is really to think about what is that coursework and what does that course material look like, and in terms of how do you add on and build onto that, so that way it doesn't feel like a repeat, but also it is capturing but it's still capturing what the law requires to make sure we're meeting those requirements. And so that's something that definitely I think that we would be interested in. When I say we, thinking about Maryland School Council Association in terms of, being a part of that conversation. And then also Bowie State would be interested in definitely continuing on. So I know that Laura was saying that she wants it at least every summer to hold it. And I know Bowie State is definitely interested in at least every quarter or every semester holding one class of it a semester. Because we're not on a semester. So, in the fall, the spring, and even possibly a winter session and a summer session. So that's where I got the quarter idea. So fall, spring, and then winter session and summer session, just sitting down. And
because realistically it is just the one weekend, so
exactly. Yep.
It's not,
and it can
require a lot of time from a presenter or professor.
Exactly. Yep. It's the formatting of it. It's the way we decided to format it. Some people are doing it over, I think, 5 weeks online and stuff like that. But when you look at the hours, the hour requirement requires, I think it's 15 hours, 16 hours.
15 hours.
15 hours. So that can be, 2 8-hour days, and that sort of thing. So that's why we're like, oh, you could do that in a weekend. So figuring that out. And yes, other places are charging a lot of different prices, although some places are coming down with it. But I think we were just trying to figure out a process to make it more economical and reasonable, because it's it's a requirement, and it's like already as school counselors you have a lot already, so so we want to make it reasonable. So I think that's.
So do we need to do what is this? I'm trying to read. Okay, this is for the advertisement.
Oh yeah, so this was follow-up from the previous meeting. So we would provide the advertisement for the event. We're providing the space or location, and we're awarding the CPD or contact hours. And that's the reason why, and I probably covered this before, why Bowie is not doing, and the same Frostburg, actually, full disclosure, they're also offering it, and they are not offering it for credit because I think I shared before, because we're a state institution. If we were to offer it for credit, we would have to be required to do the state fees and all of that.
Gotcha.
University fees and everything that are mandated for all university systems.
Gotcha.
If you're gonna, and that would price it at, it would make it like $500, and there would be no way, even if we wanted to say, oh, MASCA members could get a reduced rate, we would have to eat, somebody would have to pay it. Right. They were like, that's great, but okay.
It's still but that's not a problem though, because it has to be the amount of hours. It doesn't have to be a credit.
Exactly. They give, if you look on here, that's not there, on the Maryland MSTE recertification of school counselor renewal. You can tell I do this quite often. There. So it's 1 semester hour or CPD or equivalent number of CEUs. And this is where they're talking about the law, on, the law, the need for intervention referral. So that's why Maryland, as well as, Bowie, as well as we went with the option of doing, we can offer the CEU, so we will offer that as well as the CPD credit, but not the 1 semester hour of coursework. So
gotcha.
Yep. So so that gives you that.
So what else do you need in order to get this day running?
That was it. I was just thinking the logistics. So we have the date and the time. We have the location. And so we have all of that confirmed. It's just probably just, in terms of as a committee, and that's what I was going to say, is really I'm thinking that we need the space of the, volunteers to help check people in, register people, that sort of thing on the day of, both days. And of course, I think MASCA members should just be around and available to answer questions, in terms of, especially like you might be helpful, especially since we're not offering food, or there's not the food that's going to be present. And here's a little bit of a dilemma we have is the Thompson Catering is no longer doing the catering. They lost the contract at Bowie. So there's a new catering company. Yeah. So there's a new catering company. So I reached out last week to Thompson to find out, I wanted to find out about coffee, just coffee, and what can we do that, and what the cost would that be, and how, what sort of hookup could I get for that? And that's when I was told there's a new caterer, but they don't come until July 1. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Because I like to have everything. So I don't even know what coffee service would cost. I don't know. I'm very not happy about that. Very anxious. I won't say anxious, but just not happy. But that happened.
Well, and so as I'm reviewing, so just so that I understand, so we have to pay $400 just to put it on and then split all the registration.
Yeah, no, where you get 400.
Understanding that correctly.
That's $400 for the cost of the, $400 for the cost of the speaker, because the cost of the program is $800 to cover the cost of the speaker, and then the cost of all of the proceeds. So like whatever we get, we split it, and then Bowie gets half, you get half. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I just want to make sure.
Yes.
So I have to do so regardless, it looks like I gotta, and are you taking people there, or is it only ahead of time?
Ahead. I think I sent an email, and I want to just double check and see. I believe I sent an email to Bill asking him to put in the language, 2 things, that refunds we needed refunds, no refunds after, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was another question. Let me do a column here. And that was I'm open to that. I think in the meeting we had talked about, I suggested refunds by July the 23rd, I wanted to say, but I feel, the 22nd, but I feel like, I want to say Ed has said maybe even earlier than that, like July 15th or something like that. So I wanted to just bring that to the committee in terms of,
because that gives, because of the way that our schedules are, if someone's going to say they're not coming, if you only have a week, that's summer, so people are not around. And if we want to try to fill that spot, that doesn't give us a lot of wiggle room to get someone in there.
Yeah.
So I know that from what I saw, it's only 100 people, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I can check registration and see how many people have registered.
Oh, good. Can you?
But if there's a wait list or something like that, then we would contact those people. I don't know how many people are going to do it, because I think, again, people are still confused, so I don't think that will be over. I don't think people are rushing at this moment yet. I think by this time next year, people are going to be asking and looking for it. But I think people are still really trying to figure out whether or not they have to do it, and trying to kind of understand the process.
Yeah, and trying to find the cheapest place to do it.
Run into that problem. Exactly. And then doing the research to find the cheapest place. Exactly. So I just wanted to make sure. So you don't need, well, I'll still make sure you have the cash boxes. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to be there.
Okay.
But I will make sure that the cash box is there because I'm not sure if apparently Leslie is going to be selling sweaters there or whatever we have.
Do we need to? We'll talk about that. I don't want to record that. We'll talk. We'll talk later about that.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that that's something that if I'm not able to be there, that I know it. Well, if I'm going to be there, I will most likely want to participate as well because I will need to get mine done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, thinking schedule wise, but if I'm not, I just need to make sure that I know what checks need to be written ahead of time and how much, if there's going to be merchandise that I have, cash available to make change, just those kind of things.
We need to
that
check
we
on
can kind of
merchandise.
finalize, as we're closer to.
So also need to check on merchandise.
Yeah.
Are we selling? Yeah.
Only because again, that it's, just makes a difference of do I need to have cash on hand for change or whatever, or make the signs for all of our handles for like Cash App and Venmo and whatever we need.
Okay. Yeah, so we need to check on that. I think I would recommend, what do you think? I think closing it let me ask you, do you think by closing it by July 15th, that gives you enough time, or even July 8th?
I think the 8th is too early. I think that if we keep it, because depending on where you are, like I'm still in school till the 21st, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everyone's not done. So I think that we still have an opportunity to blast once people are, like, everyone's wrapping up their school year. So yeah. I don't think anyone's paying attention to anything we're sending right now.
Okay.
So most people will be done this coming Friday. And then if anyone had an extended year like we did, we're done next Friday.
Okay.
So I think we can start kind of pushing those blasts maybe starting this weekend.
Okay.
Once a lot of people, I know PG's done, Anne Arundel's done.
Yeah,
you know
they are done. Yeah.
Once people are starting to be out of end of year madness in their brains.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the 8th is a little too early for people to figure out, plans and if they're going to be there, you know what I mean?
No, I agree. I think the 15th, and even we could say, yeah.
We could still say no refunds after the 15th, but still take registration
up to the 23rd.
Yeah. Because, that way the presenter has time to figure out what they're doing.
And
but
materials.
anything after the 15th, because at that point we would have had to been figuring out whether or not you're doing breakfast or seating. Just, it's better to know ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to know that because, again, and we'll know once I know I have it on my calendar to call them effective July 1. There doesn't seem to be any handover between, which I was hoping that would happen, between Thompson and the new catering people. So they're not taking any new orders. So I want to find out.
I had a feeling that was going to happen because they got real expensive out of nowhere. So.
Yeah. That's what people were saying. So I need to, but I want to talk with them because when I talked to, the event people, Karen Tyler in the event, she said your thing is at the end of the month, you should have, I'm like, but at the very minimum, I think it would be nice to do coffee, tea service, not service, you know what I'm saying, water.
And it's at the end, if there's nothing we can do about that, then we just, go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other piece too. That's exactly it. You get those and then go to Costco and get some water bottles and everything like that. And I think this will be a case where, because, typically, how I usually say the university likes for you to use Thompson Catering. But at this point, I'm going to, this will be a case where I feel like, guys, I'm not going to wait for you. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna be left in a lurch. Like I think it'll be just nice. You want to make sure you
and especially with the process and whether or not those people's process is going to be different. Like that's just not. That's cutting it super close.
Exactly. So we'll see. So I'll let you know. I think typically, if I'm not mistaken, when we did, well, I could pull up the cost from, what was it? Because we did coffee service for the morning for what was it?
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm sure it's in some document we have, but I don't know what it was.
What was that? I can graduate hiring seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second, I messed up, and then I'll tell you in a second. Because I think I want
Okay.
to. I want to say it was like $200.
I'll say it was up there. It was like 250, 255, something like that.
Yeah. And that's why I think you were right when you were like it was starting to get a little bit more than then I think we food 255.
Put my stuff on. Yeah, this was like it was up there.
Yeah, and it was just coffee and water. Right? Just literally coffee and water.
No,
Was it juice?
I think it was coffee, water, tea, and the assorted pastries. That's what you
Oh,
guys
okay.
did.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's not that bad, but still. Okay. So, and I'll see what I can do talking to Dr. Williams.
And know that we definitely don't want that.
No. There it is. The 255 from that. So, all right. So those are the other things. Can you think of anything else? Oh, that's what I was
I
saying.
think everything that I think all of our signage and thing, Laura was making sure that whoever the president is at the time, like part of the thing will be for them to keep all of our stuff because we had everything everywhere.
Yes.
So to make sure that we have the banners and things for the table and sign-ins and
as well as I will also for us because it is a Bowie event. So that was the other piece too. It is it is posted on. There it is. It's posted on Bowie's. I have it in our event calendar as well. On Bowie's thing. Oh, did I say 108? So it's in 102. Good to know.
I was gonna say I don't know what 102 is.
Is it 102 or 108?
The small one with. I'm sorry, I meant 108. I didn't know what 108 was.
Yeah, you're good. I knew it was. You know what I was thinking? My office is 308, so that's how I got to 108. JEP 108. So it's there, and then it's on our site, and then it's on. Was it Maryland School Counselor? Maryland's there. It's on the state website. So I think we're pretty good there. But signage for mask event and also signage Bowie. So we can I'll work with coordinating on Bowie's end to make sure the signage also doesn't just, it also delineates and says Maryland School Counselor Association. But we can also post because Leslie did purchase those nice signs around. So Maryland School Counselor Association. And then I also sent out an email this week to Corporal Lieutenant Standback for campus safety about parking and everything like that. Although parking should not be a problem, but just to make sure that they are aware and they know. And I asked if they had any recommendation for parking or did we need parking permits or anything like that. I'll probably hear something next week or something.
Okay.
And then Wi-Fi. I already have the Wi-Fi password. It's in my office, but we can start once we get closer. We can email participants the room location and the Wi-Fi password, and as well with send email participants
with the map and which lot
exactly
to park in and that kind of stuff.
Yep, Wi-Fi map, parking information. As much as you want to throw shade, local restaurants.
I'm just saying.
You don't know there is the Mod Pizza. I'm always there is. Where else is there? There is a lot. It's just like you can't even think of it. There's the Chick-fil-A. There's Chipotle.
Maybe it's because we're usually running late to class and we don't have time for that.
Oh yeah, it's a whole little. There is a not Nando Peri Peri. I'm thinking of the other place, but there's like a Japanese, no, Chinese restaurant, Chinese food restaurant. There's a lot of little things all around. So local restaurants.
Oh,
I might even go over and ask them, can you give a discount? I can ask them.
that would be nice.
I will ask if they.
And that'd be something we can say that day, you know?
Yeah, I'll go ask. I'll send out a letter. Maybe. They might be like, sure. Or maybe no. They might, because it's summer and nobody, well, I mean, Bowie's not around. But there's
It's
other.
a lot less people on
It
campus.
is, yeah. So, well, I'll ask them. So Wi-Fi parking. So I just need to I'll send out a sign up to see who will be able to volunteer for the day. Volunteer.
Now, is that something that you'd like us to try to get grad students to do since they don't need it? Because I feel like
I think that's
people who are there are going to be there because they want to actually do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, sign up for who want to volunteer to serve.
I'm like, that's the end of July. If people are going to be around, they're probably going to be there because they want to take the class.
Yeah. Graduate student. Yep. That's great. Ex-graduate student volunteers. Of course, we'll start with Bowie because they're right there. And I know a few people who are right now in class. So this might be a great, they have to do CPD. What are they called? CP? No, I can't. PDAs.
Yes.
CP. I'm just thinking locally who's there. But of course, anybody. And I think I probably should.
And I would even just ask maybe the few people that, people from the conference, a couple of the people that, have volunteered at a couple of things,
Yeah.
Because again, that's going to be a room full of school counselors that they'll get to, see things like that. So if there's anything else you need from me, let me know.
I will. I just have you for.
Does the presenter need to be paid ahead of time, or that day is fine, or how does that work?
What you're talking? So typically, probably with Bowie, we would have probably sent out something afterwards, so I can check. But I think if we are doing it,
sometimes when there's material, you need to pay up front. That's why I wanted to double check.
Yeah. And you know what might be best, and I'll double check with Dr. Williams to make sure it's okay, is it might be easier, especially if we're doing it and it comes out quicker this way, if it's easier to just, have MASCA and then you take it out of the $400 from Bowie State, the fee that Bowie would pay. But I can check with Dr. Williams. I'll send an email to him and get confirmation to make sure that's okay. If that's an okay way. Does that make sense?
We're going to split that. Yeah. Are they going to pay and we pay Bowie?
Exactly.
We pay and they pay us? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Dr. Williams about the process for payment for joint project. Speaker fee.
Because if that's something, and if we can present it that way, if you guys pay for it, right? Like regardless of time, if Bowie is sending that $800 check, then that way all I'm sending is one check to include our $400
exactly
plus whatever proceeds.
Yep, exactly. So I can check with him and see which is the better way, or which is the way that he would prefer to do that. For the joint project. I don't know why I have this column over here, but sometimes it's just easier for me to write and type in one space.
I know you're getting. I know you have a session coming up, and
No, yeah.
I got to start winding down bedtime over here.
Well, yep. I think we are good. I think what we can do is if you can definitely check on the merchandise and let me know about that. And
So
then
is that? Do we just want to see, like, do you want me to just check in with Laura to see if that's something she wants to do, or what would you like me to do?
yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That would be
Okay.
great.
And I'm still waiting to hear back from our accountant on that, the taxes and things like that.
Okay.
So I'll keep you
Yeah,
posted on that.
that sounds good. Then once we get closer, about 2 weeks out, we'll send out, or not even, say a month out, send out an email to the participants. And then another one, 2 weeks out, 1 month out, in 2 weeks. Oh, and you said you can let me know, because I hate to bother Bill all the time with how many people are registered.
Oh yeah. You can shoot me a text whenever, and I can check that. I didn't bring my computer home this weekend, so I don't
Have
have it,
that.
but I can check that
Okay,
anytime.
perfect. All right. Well, thank you. I'm going to stop that now. Uh-oh. Where am I? Stop.